Quickly, let's talk about these Travis sales. So the projections came out officially. Again, I saw some fan page similar to Uzi's Pink Tape saying like 400 or 500K or whatever it was. Maybe it was 300. I can't remember the exact number. But some fan page said like 800,000. And I was like, that's honestly believable for Travis Scott. However, that came out completely wrong. I think his numbers came out to like 245. There we go. 245 to 275K first week. Now, that's not including bundles. So probably expecting 400,000 to 500,000 total with all of the box sets that he sold. Now with Astroworld, he sold, I think it was like 250 for streams, 250 for his merch bundles. So is it a W? I was actually hoping that it was going to go higher. However, I don't know if like at this point, Travis Scott, I don't even know if he could get bigger. Although he did the Fortnite collab, he's done the McDonald's collab. So I feel like he does actually have more publicity than he did before. Although Astroworld had a lot bigger songs on it. Like I don't really see too much movement on TikTok, or TikTok wasn't even out when Astroworld dropped. So we can't really gauge, but it had Sicko Mode among other like absolute bangers that blew up. So I don't know if Utopia necessarily has that. It has great songs on it, don't get me wrong. Like I like the project, but it just doesn't have that like catchy, like objectively banger song that everybody's talking about. You know what I mean? Or is there? I could be wrong completely. I just thought it was an overall good project though. Like it sounded different and I feel like we really needed that in hip hop. It's gonna go #1 regardless, so it's still a W. However, I was hoping that it would go bigger than Astroworld. Now, 200K bundles, that brings it to almost like, it doesn't even hit the 500K mark. So technically, I mean, it retracted from his previous sales. So like it's a W, but it's not like a massive W in my book. I was hoping that it would go more because again, like streams wise, it's relatively the same. Bundles, it's actually less, but he's not finessing it as much as he did before with all the t-shirts. I think he dropped a new t-shirt every single day. So maybe he just doesn't have to try as hard with the marketing, which still is a W if you think about it. Like he's gonna make so much money, especially with the tour. Like Travis Scott, again, he's definitely in the picture for top 3 rapper now. I mean, if you think about it, like what did J. Cole, I think, is always going to sell super well, but what was his last album? J. Cole first week sales, let me see, his last one, the off season, 282. Okay, so that means J. Cole and Drake are still top 3. Kanye's still in there as well. So if we're talking top 5, the only contender there left, because the top 3 was because Kanye wasn't even like, I don't know why Kanye wasn't ever in the picture for the top 3, even though he's doing the same numbers as everybody else. But if there's a J. Cole, I think Big Sean was in that Big 4 as well, but he's completely gone now. I don't know where the fuck he is, but it's J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake. So what did Kendrick's album do? Kendrick Lamar, the last one, Mr. Morale, did 300. So 296. So the top 3 is still, and the top, yeah, Kendrick, no, the top 4. The top 4 is still there, but Travis Scott is definitely like pushing those. Now I had a conversation with somebody discussing like if Travis Scott was gonna be like the OG in rap for like the next 5 years. I think he is, but like I don't know how frequently he's gonna drop, but like I just think that we're kind of in a void period where there isn't a lot of OGs. Like we got Future, well, Thug is locked up, but like who else do we really have right now that's really pushing hip hop forward? I feel like maybe that's why 2023 has been such a bad year for #1 rap albums, because right now like Drake is obviously still dropping, but he's not really in his peak necessarily. Kendrick, not in his peak anymore either. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, I don't really know anyone who's still listening to that album. It was more of like it felt like a soundtrack. J. Cole, he's already laid out his plan for retirement. I think he only has like one more project left, The Fall Off. So once they're done, like what is gonna go on? Like I was thinking maybe Tyler the Creator and Travis Scott, but Tyler's like on his own wave, but I guess so was J. Cole and Kendrick with the lyricism, whereas Drake was pushing like the pop numbers. Travis Scott, I feel like also fits that, you know, like radio type music where Drake was. I feel like we can't really let Drake retire because he's the only one who's actually staying consistent, even though he's talked about retiring with Lil Yachty on a podcast or like an interview. So Trippy's not pushing those numbers anymore, bro. It's just not. So I think it's gonna be Uzi, although I don't know what's happening with Uzi, bro. We just listened to those leaks. Can he do those Eternal Take numbers? Like, it's obvious that I'm not talking about personal opinions here, although Pink Tape was like decent, like it was decent at best. Like he's not doing what Travis and Cardi are, like, I don't know, numbers or movement wise, let's say, because Cardi's not pushing Uzi levels just yet with sales. So I think like the top, if we exclude the previous top 4 or 5 rappers like Kanye, like the GOATs, right? It's gonna be like Travis, it's gonna be Cardi. We'll see with Uzi. I feel like Uzi's already there, or he already was there, but we'll see. Lil Baby's pushing those numbers, but you know how I feel about Lil Baby. I don't even really like his music that much. I don't get it, but I think he's selling at the stadiums though. So I know we talked about how some of his tour dates got canceled, but it looks like some of them sold out. He was doing arenas, maybe not stadiums. 21 Savage. Look, you got to be like active though. I just feel like there's a lot of rappers who are big, but because I guess sales is such a big pressure on rappers' stats and like just how they're perceived in the media, everyone's scared to drop. Like they gotta wait and make sure it's perfect. And as much as you want to perfect your craft and the music before you release it, like I don't know, just rap is kind of turned into like a, what is the word? Kind of a metric game. It's not even about the music anymore. It's just about numbers. So we'll see. Like, so Travis, Cardi, I want Uzi to stay. We'll see what happens, but I feel like objectively fans aren't really messing with the new music as much, especially when you're going like the rock route. Like that kind of takes you out of the hip hop box. I understand he's trying to break outside of just the genre, but 21, let's see, who else, man? Like that's all we got, bro. That's all we got. Like Travis, Cardi, Uzi, Baby. Like this next era of music, like all the SoundCloud rappers of 2016 through 18, it was supposed to be them who are taking these GOAT spots of Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick. And I just don't know if they've lived up to that level. Maybe it's just because sales in general have gone down because of the streaming era. It's way harder to come by, 500K, 1 million Drake sold with views. Lil Wayne was doing 1 mil with the Carter series, the Carter 3. Eminem was doing 1 million when he was at his peak. So I just don't know if they can do that. Yeah, I was thinking YoungBoy as well, but I don't know. Like he drops really frequently, but he doesn't really push 200K. Like I feel like there's like a big dog status where you hit 100K, I think academics said, and I agree with that. But then to be like top 5 rapper, you got to be pushing 200K consistently, And I that's why I was saying like Cardi's not there yet, but I feel like he just keeps making moves, like a bigger and bigger move. He's going up the steps. I'm not even trying to dick ride. That's just the trajectory. But yeah, rap as a whole might be in trouble. I think we got a lot of good underground artists coming out in SoundCloud right now. I've been checking it out. Just for the whole industry, the whole genre to continue at its pace that it had in the 2010s and even the 2000s, like you need those top people to be bringing, because that's who accumulates all of the new fans, or it keeps the fans that were already there, and then they bleed down into the other artists, once they're like kind of like, oh, okay, I listened to the Drake album, it was really good, like they drop less frequently, all of the bigger rappers, because they have a lot more pressure on their back, and then they bleed down to like the underground artists. So if there isn't even that top spot, those top 4 or 5 rappers, like the underground might be in trouble at some point too. Stop grifting loan clones. They ain't even loan clones. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, everybody who says somebody's a clone, like, you obviously just aren't keeping up with the times. Like, music kind of shifts in trends. Okay, so of course everybody's gonna hop on like certain type of beats. Nobody says anything when everybody's hopping on Metro Boomin type beats or Metro Boomin beats. Like, you don't go from technically Future and Metro Boomin popped off together, right? And then when Travis hops on a Metro Boomin, I don't see anybody being like, yo, why you on his sound? Why you on Future sound? You're a Future clone. Like, that doesn't make sense at all. I'm not mad at all. I don't really care. You're in my fucking chat, bro. Bob isn't gonna care. You don't even know who I be listening to. I listen to songs that got like 700 plays, okay? Y'all just be talking, y'all be chatting, saying bullshit. How you gonna tell me what I'm listening to? Especially because when I do be talking about underground artists, nobody gives a fuck. So you know what? I just don't make videos on it. Plus that wouldn't even get views anyway, so it doesn't matter.